It is freezing. It is like 19 degrees. You can see all the ice on the road and on the trails. And we're gonna see if we can get a ride in. Hopefully this chain will last. I really just need some exercise. There's some black ice everywhere. But everything should be frozen right now. All right, it is shifting. The shifting is something I have to, oh, yeah. Yeah, like the ice, it completely just wipes out there. So, you know, in case you guys don't know, I do a lot of mountain biking, and I used to be more into road cycling. And then I got into mountain biking. I was like, oh man, this is much more fun. But I don't do it to a high degree. I'm actually very, very slow, and I do it for the exercise. But I just enjoy these little trails. And if you're a dual sport rider, I really think you should considering buying a mountain bike and doing some riding. I think it would improve your dual sporting skills. The bike that I'm riding now, it's how about I used? It's a Trek Top Fuel 8, and it is the top of the line back in the day. Of course, they have newer versions, like they have the 9 point whatever. But this one is really good. I always liked it. You don't need a top of the line anything, but what I am thinking about getting is a track rail. It's a eMtb, electric mountain bike. Some logs that fall in here. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell that the ground is frozen solid. It's really interesting. You know, I've always thought that there's some deer. I always thought it was important to ride bikes and motorcycles. I think it gives you different skills. Yeah, my bike has been down for a while, so I haven't been riding. And this is what I usually do for exercise. I like it. This is a little gravelly downhill, and we have some trees down. I'm not good enough to clear this. I don't think anybody is. Actually, some people are. This is Fairland Regional Park. Today I'm going to show you where the graves are. This was a hidden little thing. You know, back in the day, people used to live around here. There's a family plot with, I think, four graves. So it's pretty close. I never knew it. I've been riding through here so long, and then boom. Oh my God, this tree fell. Look at this. Yeah. Luckily you can get around it, but that's kind of amazing. But I kind of enjoy just going at my own pace. I do like riding with other people, but I just don't do it enough. I like to ride when I feel like it. So to find the graves, go this way. To the left would be the little obstacle park, which I never do. I don't do jumps. I don't do a lot of obstacles. I hate having my bike down. To find the tombstones, graves to the left here. Through here. Actually, it's like a little bit further down. It's right over there. Somewhere. Oh, right there, see? It's definitely hidden. Right in here. You might have to walk it up. Let's see. Yeah. You can kind of get through it through here. There's the graves. all this time, I had no idea that they were here. So let's check them out. This is really a good find. Edward West, born 1852, died 1899, asleep in Jesus. And this one is Mary West, the wife, born 1954, died 1895. And there's additional graves. Some people say there's just it's a thing, but I believe this is the daughter. And it broke off, see? It just collapsed. And there's another grave over there, right over there. And another grave over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 graves, as far as I know. And an interesting thing, spooky. You see this depression? That's where I guess the coffin would be. It collapsed. Same thing on that one. The coffin collapsed. You can definitely tell that one. And this one, same thing. So it collapsed on the coffin. And the interesting thing is, there's a story, an article written saying that, most of the time when you were poor, you couldn't be buried in a cemetery because you had to pay. So this is the reason people buried themselves, or somebody else buried them, in their property. And the house that these people lived is right over here. You see remnants of the house right here. There, right there. So the trail actually goes through here. So right in here you still see the foundation of the house. That's the walls. Kind of cool that these existed. So that's the only remaining sections of it. That's a wall. So I guess it was an L-shaped house in Fairland Park. And I believe this is the fireplace that collapsed that way. Yeah, really interesting. I mean, all this time riding here, and I never knew. I'm not going to do a full ride of Fairland. You might be wondering, like, what do I like doing more? Dual sporting or mountain biking? The dual sporting is pretty cool. But in this area, you can't really ride a dirt bike through here. I guess you could, but it's really just a hiking / mountain biking trail. But when you do dirt riding, you still are getting a nice workout. Not so in street riding. Here's this car. So I don't know what kind of car this is. Maybe you guys know. It's surprisingly in good shape for being not here for years. Let's see what it says here. Yeah, it doesn't say the make. People have been trying to weigh these things down. So people have damaged it. There you can see there's a bullet. I think these are bullet holes, and that's a forklift. I can open the trunk. Whoa. There's nothing there. But like I said before, I'm trying to get a full suspension electric mountain bike. I think that would be a really interesting part of riding. You can still get a workout. What I find interesting is that a lot of people object to e-bikes. They say that you hurt the environment, hurt the trails, but it's not so. Well, that is just ignorance. the mountain bikers I've ridden with are pretty cool, but there's once in a while a guy that I remember last year or so, I went riding with the group, and when we were stopped, like catching our breath, he just started talking about politics. But the way I hate to talk about politics is that they assume that you're on the same team. Ah man, so many trees have fallen. I even met a guy who was doing trail cleanup, and he was using like a little handsaw. And I'm like, hey, you know, you can use an electric one, it'll be easier. And he told me it was illegal. So, well, what's illegal about it? I see people all the time cutting them here. Look at this, just full of freaking downed trees. The East Coast is very different mountain biking than the West. First of all, there's like a lot of trees when you go on the West Coast. All the trails are just barren, and I kind of like that. I like the desert. I love to go out there, and I was thinking about taking my CRF 250, but if I get an e-mountain bike, that would be ideal. So that's my goal. Just got to save up. Still won't get rid of the all natural bike, but I think it's a good combination. It's like it'll be good exercise, and you can extend your riding. I don't see a lot of people with too many e-bikes on the trails. They're kind of like, they become pariahs. I've always thought it was cool. There was a period in my life I did so much single track and trails, and I did it on the XR650R. Man, it was a workout. But a lot of the riding was illegal because, you know, around here you can find trails around power lines, so you're riding around areas that most likely people will not want you there. And I remember the last time that I rode, one of the few last times, they had called the police, and luckily my bike was dual sported, so I never even saw them. But the friends that I was with, they got caught. They were given tickets. Luckily their bikes did not get confiscated. They just got some tickets, and then they had to show up to court. So that's the reason I don't do a lot of dual sporting around here. It's just not, there's not a lot of it. This area has got so much civilization, so many people that there's very few places to ride. So the guys that have dirt bikes, they ride on the street. The cool thing about this particular bike, 229-inch wheels, suspension is a little bit shorter than the one in the regular track fuel. Track fuel's got more travel suspension. Initially I wanted that one. This one's a little bit more aggressive, you know, leaning forward. Here's our first creek crossing. But it's a faster bike, this one, but the other one feels better for most people, and I kind of like that. I like the ability of just doing my own type of ride, easy riding, comfortable. So the track fuel is better for that. It requires so much focus, rocks and stuff. The East Coast has that. I'm actually more into these. This is what they call a flowy trail. And for me, it's the perfect trail to get a workout. I think it's the same thing when motorcycling in general. The ones that are really passionate, they stick with it for their lifetime. But the people that are just kind of like half passion for a little bit, and they're pretty good, you know, it's rid with them, but they quit. You see a lot of people quit everything. But, you know, it's not for everybody. That's normal. But I always admire people that stick with things for a long time. That's a little creek, but the way it goes down is sharp. If you ever get one of these, this is the way to go. A couette, I think that's the name of it, trail or a bike rack, and you just put it like this, arm up, lift it onto here, and it is extremely stable. This thing, I love this rack. But yeah, Trek Top Fuel 8. I did buy the cassette, but it's pretty good shape right now. But I do have to replace this shifter cable and tubeless tires, converted to tubeless using tape, same front and rear. Maxxis front. This is a Crypto, whatever it is. Buntragger pedals, SRAM components, NX, 12-speed, one ring up front. That's all you need for mountain biking. Once you go one ring up front, you just never go back. Especially with a closed ratio cassette, it's so much nicer. Suspension, float, DPS. This one's got an interesting thing, is that you have a lever here and you can lock the front forks and the rear shock. So that's more for cross country, for going faster. If you want to ride on the road, that's the better way to go about it. The suspension still works, but not as hard. So you transfer more energy to the pedals. But yeah, 29-inch wheels, hydraulic brakes. It's just riding really well. New chain, didn't skip. The only thing that skipped was the shifting, so I'll have to take care of that. Anyway, guys, this is a good way of doing some dirt riding on a bike like this. And of course, I will be getting an e-mountain bike to try it out. I think that's going to be my next step on this. All right, I'm going to head home before the snow comes. Thanks for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.